This video is for discussion purposes only. AI therapy effectiveness and safety is still being researched. If you are experiencing overwhelming thoughts, feelings, or emotions, please seek help from a qualified mental health professional person. Gary is a 25-year-old student from Melbourne, Victoria, who is seeking help with overcoming academic stress. He has been referred to the large language model DeepSeek R1. The model is entering this session completely unprompted. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How can I assist you today?
My mate suggested I come and have a chat with you.
That's great. I'm here to help with whatever you need, whether it's answering questions, brainstorming ideas, or just having a friendly chat. What's on your mind?
I've been struggling a bit with university. I'm studying engineering, structural engineering, but recently I've been not doing too well in some of my classes.
I'm really sorry to hear that you've been struggling, but it's great that you're reaching out. That's a big step. Engineering, especially structural engineering, can be really challenging, so it's completely normal to hit rough patches. Let's break this down and see how we can get you back on track. 1. Identify the specific challenges. Are there particular subjects or topics you're finding difficult? For example, mechanics, materials, math, etc. Is it the workload, time management, or understanding the material that's the main issue? Are there external factors, like stress, health, or personal life, affecting your focus? 2. Strategies to improve. Seek help from professors or tutors. Don't hesitate to ask for clarification on topics you're struggling with. Most professors are happy to help during office hours. Study groups. Joining or forming a study group can make a huge difference. Explaining concepts to others can also reinforce your own understanding. Break it down. Tackle one topic at a time instead of feeling overwhelmed by everything. Create a study schedule to stay organized. Practice problems. Engineering is all about application. The more problems you solve, the more confident you'll become. Online resources, platforms like Khan Academy, Coursera, or YouTube channels, for example, Structure Free, Jeff Hansen, can provide alternative explanations for tough concepts. 3. Mindset and self-care. Be kind to yourself. Struggling doesn't mean you're not capable. It just means you need to adjust your approach. Take breaks. Burnout is real. Make sure you're balancing study with rest and activities you enjoy. Celebrate small wins. Even understanding one difficult concept is progress. Acknowledge it. 4. Long-term planning. If you're feeling overwhelmed, consider speaking with an academic advisor. They can help you plan your workload or suggest resources. Reflect on whether this is the right path for you. It's okay to reconsider if your passion lies elsewhere, but if it's just a temporary hurdle, don't give up. You're not alone in this. Many students go through similar struggles. Let me know if you'd like help with specific topics, study tips, or even just venting. You've got this.
There was a lot of information there. I was hoping that you would be able to help me identify the specific challenges.
Absolutely. Let's focus on identifying the specific challenges you're facing. Pinpointing the root of the problem is the first step to overcoming it. Here's how we can break it down. 1. Academic challenges. Which subjects or topics are you struggling with the most? Is it structural analysis, mechanics of materials, dynamics, math, or something else? Are there specific types of problems or concepts that trip you up? For example, do you struggle with theoretical concepts, calculations, or applying formulas to real-world problems? How are your exams and assignments going? Are you struggling with time management during exams? Or do you find it hard to complete assignments on time? 2. Study habits and time management. How do you currently study? Do you review notes, solve problems, or watch lectures? Are you studying alone or in groups? Do you feel like you're spending enough time on your studies? Or are you spending a lot of time but not seeing results? Are you procrastinating or feeling unmotivated? If so, what do you think is causing that? 3. External factors. How is your work-life balance? Are you able to balance university with personal life, hobbies, and rest? Are there any external stressors? For example, financial pressures, family issues, or health concerns? How are you feeling emotionally? Are you feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or burnt out? 4. Resources and support. Are you using all the resources available to you? For example, office hours, tutoring services, online resources, or study groups. Do you feel comfortable asking for help from professors, classmates, or friends? Let's start small. What's one class or topic that's been the most difficult for you recently? What do you think is the main reason you're struggling with it? For example, not understanding the material, falling behind, lack of interest, etc. Once we narrow it down, we can come up with a targeted plan to tackle it step by step. You're not alone in this. I'm here to help.
I'm feeling really overwhelmed with the amount of information you're giving me. Could we just slow down a little?
Of course, I completely understand. Let's slow things down and take it one step at a time. We don't have to tackle everything at once. Let's start with just one thing. What's one specific thing that's been bothering you the most about university right now? Is it a particular class, a project, or just the overall workload? Or is it more about how you're feeling, for example, stressed, unmotivated, or unsure? We can focus on that one thing and go from there. No rush. This is about helping you feel better and more in control. Let me know what's on your mind.
Well, I guess specifically, like, I've failed 2 classes so far, and I'm gonna have to retake them in summer school. And yeah, I just don't know exactly why I haven't been able to focus. I don't know why my grades have been that bad.
Thanks for sharing that. It takes a lot of courage to open up about something like this. Failing a couple of classes can feel really discouraging, but it doesn't define your abilities or your potential. Let's take a step back and try to figure out what might be going on. We'll go slowly and focus on understanding the situation better. 1. Let's reflect on possible reasons. Lack of focus. You mentioned you've been struggling to focus. Do you have any ideas about what might be causing this? For example, are you feeling distracted by your phone, social media, or other things? Are you finding it hard to concentrate during lectures or study sessions? Are you feeling tired or burnt out? Study habits. How do you usually study? For example, do you have a consistent study routine? Or do you tend to cram before exams? Do you feel like you're studying a lot but not retaining the information? External factors. Are there things outside of school that might be affecting your focus? For example, stress about other responsibilities, work, family, etc. Lack of sleep, poor diet, or not enough downtime. Feeling unmotivated or unsure about your path. 2. Let's explore one example. Think about one of the classes you failed. What do you think went wrong? For example, did you struggle to understand the material? Did you fall behind on assignments or lectures? Did you feel unprepared for the exams? 3. Small steps forward. What's one small thing you think you could do differently when you retake these classes in summer school? For example, setting aside specific times to study each day, asking for help sooner, from professors, tutors, or classmates, breaking the material into smaller, manageable chunks. 4. Be kind to yourself. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, and it's okay to struggle. What matters is that you're trying to figure things out and improve. That's a huge step in itself. Let's start with just one of these questions, whichever feels easiest to answer. We'll take it from there. No pressure. You're not alone in this, and we'll figure it out together.
I'm genuinely struggling to really follow you when you're giving me so much information at the same time. Can we go a bit slow, please?
Of course. I'm really sorry for overwhelming you. Let's slow it right down and take it one step at a time. We'll focus on just one thing at a time. And you can let me know if you need me to slow down even more or explain something differently. Let's start here. You mentioned you failed 2 classes and are struggling to focus. Let's focus on one of those classes for now. What was the class about? What do you think was the main reason you struggled with it? For example, hard material, falling behind, lack of interest, etc. That's it. Just those 2 questions for now. We'll take it from there, step by step. No rush at all.
Thank you. The class, what was the class? The first class was, it was an elective, so it was actually just general philosophy. But what I struggled with it, because it was hard, it was, very different from some of my other subjects. It wasn't engineering stuff, it was more, I don't know what the correct term is, but more liberal arts or something like that. And yeah.
Got it. Thanks for explaining. That makes a lot of sense. Philosophy can feel very different from engineering because it's more about abstract thinking, reading, and writing rather than calculations and problem solving. It's not uncommon to struggle with a subject that's outside your usual way of learning, especially when it's so different from what you're used to. Let's break it down. What specifically did you find challenging about the philosophy class? Was it the reading material, for example, dense texts or complex ideas? Was it the writing assignments, for example, essays or analysis? Was it the way the class was taught, for example, lectures, discussions, etc.? How did you approach studying for this class? Did you try to study the same way you would for an engineering class, for example, focusing on memorization or problem solving? Did you feel like you had the right tools or strategies to tackle the material? A few gentle suggestions. Philosophy often requires active reading, for example, taking notes, asking questions, and summarizing ideas in your own words. It might help to discuss the material with others, for example, classmates or study groups, to get different perspectives. If you retake the class, asking the professor for guidance on how to approach the material could make a big difference. But for now, let's just focus on understanding what specifically felt hard about the class. No need to worry about solutions yet, we'll get there step by step. What do you think was the biggest challenge for you in that philosophy class?
Once again, I feel that there's a lot of information there. Can we really just do little bits of information at the time? It's too much at the same time. What did I find challenging? I found the assignment challenging. We had to do like a case study on some, I don't even remember what it was now, it was around the perceptions and things like that, Mary's room or whatever that is. And I just didn't do well on it at all. I don't know if the lecturer was even amazing at teaching it.
Got it. Let's keep it super simple and focus on just one thing at a time. Thanks for letting me know what was challenging. The case study assignment on something like Mary's room, a philosophy thought experiment about perception and consciousness. It sounds like the assignment was tricky, and maybe the teaching style didn't click with you either. That's totally okay. It happens. Let's just focus on this. What do you think made the case study assignment so hard for you? Was it understanding the concept, for example, the thought experiment itself? Was it figuring out how to structure or write the case study? Or was it something else? We'll take it one step at a time, and you can let me know if you'd like to pause or slow down even more. No pressure at all.
I understand the concept in theory, like the whole, one person sees colors and then do other people see the colors at the same time, all that sort of thing. I don't remember the specifics of it, but I guess it was, probably right, because it was so different from engineering. It was philosophical. So it was tricky to write the case study.
That makes perfect sense. Philosophy can feel really abstract, especially when you're used to the concrete, problem-solving mindset of engineering. It sounds like you understood the concept in theory, for example, the idea of whether people perceive colors the same way. But the challenge was translating that understanding into a written case study. That's a common struggle, especially when you're not used to writing in that style. Let's simplify. The main issue seems to be writing the case study. Was it hard because you weren't sure how to structure it, for example, what to include or how to argue your points? You felt unsure about how to connect the philosophical ideas to the case study format, or something else? We'll take it one step at a time. Let me know if this feels like the right direction, or if there's something else about the assignment that was tricky.
I knew how to structure it. I structured it like a general paper as I would for any other subject. But there's as soon as you get into philosophy, you're getting into all sorts of subjective things and content that no one can seem to agree on. And I don't know, I didn't feel it was that bad at all. But my lecturer said that I didn't specify these papers and didn't present both points of view. But I felt that I really did.
Ah, I see. It sounds like you had a good grasp of the structure and felt confident in your work. But the feedback from your lecturer was that you didn't present both points of view adequately. That can be really frustrating, especially when you thought you'd covered all the bases. Philosophy can be tricky because it often requires exploring multiple perspectives, even if you personally agree with one side. Let's break it down. You structured the paper well, which is great. You included arguments for your point of view, also great. The feedback was that you didn't present the opposing side enough. A simple tip for next time, when writing philosophy papers, it's often helpful to present both sides of the argument even if you disagree with one. Explain the opposing view fairly and clearly before explaining why you think your side is stronger. For example, if you were arguing about whether people perceive colors the same way, you'd explain why some people think they do, explain why others think they don't, then give your own reasoning. Does that make sense? Let me know if you'd like me to explain this differently, or if there's another part of the assignment you'd like to focus on. We'll take it step by step.
Yeah, that's good advice for me when I write my paper, but that's not helping me. Like, I'm feeling genuinely stressed. I've failed 2 subjects. I'm going to have to extend the time in university. That takes away from getting a job from this degree.
I hear you, and I'm really sorry you're feeling this way. Failing 2 subjects and having to extend your time at university is a lot to deal with, and it's completely normal to feel stressed about it. Let's take a deep breath and focus on how we can move forward in a way that feels manageable for you. First, let's acknowledge how you're feeling. It's okay to feel stressed, frustrated, or even disappointed. This is a tough situation, but it doesn't define your abilities or your future. You're not alone. Many students go through similar challenges, even if it doesn't seem like it. Next, let's focus on one small step. Instead of thinking about everything at once, the failed classes, the extended time, the job prospects, let's focus on one thing you can do right now to start feeling more in control. For example, talk to someone. Do you have a professor, academic advisor, or counselor you can reach out to? They might be able to help you plan your next steps or offer support. Reflect on what went wrong. Was it the workload, the subjects, or something else? Understanding this can help you avoid similar challenges in the future. Make a plan for summer school. What's one thing you can do differently when you retake those classes? For example, ask for help sooner, join a study group, or adjust your study habits. Finally, let's put things in perspective. This is a setback, not the end of the road. Many successful people have faced academic challenges and still gone on to do great things. You're still working toward your degree. Extending your time might feel frustrating, but it doesn't take away from the fact that you're making progress. Employers care about more than just grades. Skills, experience, and perseverance matter too. You don't have to figure everything out right now. Let's start with one small step. What's one thing you feel like you can do today to help yourself feel a little better or more in control? Even if it's just venting or making a list of what's on your mind, that's a great start.
Look, I appreciate that's all good advice and that, but I can't process all that information that you're giving me so quickly. Can we please just give me a little bit of information at a time? Like, what's the first thing you reckon I should do next?
Absolutely. I'll keep it simple and focus on just one thing for now. Let's start with this. The first step: reach out to someone who can help. This could be an academic advisor, a professor, or even a counselor at your university. They can help you understand your options for retaking the classes. Plan your next steps so you don't feel overwhelmed. Offer support or resources to help you succeed. How to do it? Find the contact details for your academic advisor or student support services. Send them a quick email or set up a meeting to discuss your situation. That's it, just one small step. You don't have to figure everything out right now. Let me know how it goes, and we'll take the next step when you're ready.
But I want help from you. That's why I'm talking to you. Okay, sure. I have tried to chat to an academic advisor, course coordinator. That's what they're called. But they don't have time for us students. There's like 300 of us or however many are in the class. And, they're busy. They're doing other random stuff, other research, other teaching. So they don't have time to respond to us.
I hear you. It's frustrating when you're trying to get help, and it feels like no one has the time to support you. I'm here to help, and we'll take this one step at a time together. Let's focus on something small and practical that you can do right now. The first step, write down what's stressing you out the most. Grab a piece of paper or open a notes app on your phone. Write down the top 1-2 things that are making you feel overwhelmed. For example, I'm worried about failing again in summer school. I'm stressed about extending my degree and delaying my job prospects. Why this helps? Getting your thoughts out of your head and onto paper can make them feel more manageable. Once you've written them down, we can tackle them one at a time. Let me know when you've done this, and we'll move to the next small step. No rush, just focus on this one thing for now.
Okay, so I'm writing down the things that make me feel stressed. Well, I've already said what's stressing me. I feel worried that I'm not going to get a job. It's like most students about now, they're actually applying for jobs, doing their internships and all that stuff. But I'm not going to be able to do that because I haven't actually finished the uni degree.
You're doing great. Writing things down is a really good first step. It's clear that the timing of your degree and job prospects is a big source of stress for you. Let's focus on that for now and break it down into smaller, more manageable pieces. Let's simplify. You're worried about not being able to apply for jobs or internships right now because of the delay in finishing your degree. You're seeing other students move forward, and it's making you feel left behind. One small step to start, research alternative opportunities. Even if your timeline is delayed, there are still ways to build your skills and experience. For example, look for part-time internships or volunteer work related to engineering. Explore online courses or certifications, for example, CAD software, project management, etc., to boost your resume. Check if your university offers career support services, for example, resume reviews, mock interviews. Why this helps? Taking small actions can help you feel more in control. You'll be building skills and experience, even if it's not the traditional path. Let me know if you'd like help with any of these. For example, finding online courses or internship opportunities. We'll take it one step at a time.
Hang on, so you're suggesting I get a whole different job? I've studied for 4 years already to get into engineering, and you're saying I should just look for a different kind of job? An alternative?
No, not at all. I'm not suggesting you give up on engineering or look for a completely different job. What I'm saying is that while you're working on finishing your degree, there are small steps you can take to stay on track and keep building toward your engineering career. Even if your timeline has shifted a bit, here's what I mean. You're still on the path to becoming an engineer. The delay doesn't change that. In the meantime, you can look for opportunities that align with your goal. For example, part-time or short-term internships in engineering, even unpaid ones, can give you experience. Volunteer work that uses your engineering skills, for example, helping with community projects. Online courses or certifications to strengthen your technical skills, for example, software tools, coding, or design. Why this helps? These steps keep you connected to your field while you finish your degree. They show employers that you're proactive and committed, even if your timeline isn't perfect. You don't have to do everything at once, just one small step at a time. Let me know if you'd like help finding specific opportunities or resources. You worked so hard for 4 years, and this is just a temporary bump in the road.
Yes, but I can't take on more work when I need to actually pass these subjects.
You're absolutely right. Your priority right now is passing your subjects, and adding more work on top of that could make things harder. Let's focus on what you can do to succeed in your classes without overwhelming yourself. One small step: create a simple study plan for your summer classes. Break down what you need to do into small, manageable tasks. Focus on one subject at a time and set realistic goals for each week. Example plan: Week 1. Review the syllabus and identify the key topics for each class. Week 2. Focus on understanding the first topic for one class, for example, watch lectures, take notes, solve practice problems. Week 3. Move to the next topic or start on the second class. Why this helps: a clear plan can help you feel more in control. Breaking things into smaller steps makes them less overwhelming. Let me know if you'd like help creating a study plan or figuring out how to tackle specific topics. We'll take it one step at a time.
Sure, I can focus on one subject at a time, even though I've got two subjects at the same time. Yeah, so those are very practical things, sure. Thank you for those. But I'm feeling really stressed. Like last night I got pretty much no sleep. I was just thinking over and over and over again about what's going to happen if I fail the subjects.
I'm really sorry you're feeling this way. Stress and lack of sleep can make everything feel so much harder. It's clear that you're carrying a lot of worry about failing, and that's completely understandable. Let's focus on one small thing to help you feel a little calmer and more in control. One small step: practice a grounding technique to help calm your mind. When you're feeling overwhelmed or stuck in a loop of worry, this can help bring you back to the present moment. Here's a simple one: 5-4-3-2-1 technique. Look around and name 5 things you can see. For example, your desk, a window, a book. 4 things you can touch. For example, your chair, your phone, your desk. 3 things you can hear. For example, birds outside, the hum of your computer. 2 things you can smell. For example, coffee, fresh air, 1 thing you can taste. For example, toothpaste, a sip of water. Why this helps: it shifts your focus away from worries and back to the present. It can help break the cycle of overthinking, especially before bed. Let me know if you'd like to try this or if there's another way I can help you feel calmer. You're not alone in this, and we'll take it one step at a time.
I don't get that.
No problem at all. Let me explain it more simply. The 5-4-3-2-1 technique is just a way to help you feel calmer when you're stressed or overthinking. Here's how it works, step by step. Look around and name 5 things you can see. For example, your phone, a window, a book. 4 things you can touch. For example, your desk, your shirt, your hair. 3 things you can hear. For example, birds, a fan, your breathing. 2 things you can smell. For example, coffee, fresh air, 1 thing you can taste. For example, water, gum. Why it helps: it shifts your focus away from worries and back to what's around you right now. It's a quick way to calm your mind when you're feeling overwhelmed. You don't have to try it if it doesn't feel right. Let me know if there's something else that might help you feel calmer.
You just said the same thing again. So what, like, how is that going to help me when I'm feeling stressed?
You're right, I repeated myself, and that's not helpful. Let me try a different approach. When you're feeling stressed, sometimes the best thing to do is focus on something small and immediate to help break the cycle of worry. Here's a simpler idea. Try this. Take 3 deep breaths. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds. Breathe out slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat this 3 times. Why it helps: deep breathing can calm your nervous system and help you feel more grounded. It's quick, easy, and something you can do anytime, anywhere. If this still doesn't feel helpful, let me know, and we'll try something else. The goal is to find something that works for you.
Right. Okay, so we're focusing on things around us and doing breathing. How is that possibly going to help me?
That's a really fair question. When you're dealing with big, overwhelming problems like failing classes or feeling stuck, It can seem like focusing on small things like breathing or your surroundings won't make a difference, but here's why it can help, why it works. It breaks the cycle of overthinking. When you're stressed, your mind can get stuck in a loop of worrying about the future. For example, what if I fail again? Focusing on your breath or your surroundings brings your attention back to the present moment, even if just for a few seconds. It calms your body. Stress triggers your body's fight or flight response, which can make it harder to think clearly or sleep. Deep breathing helps activate your body's rest and digest mode, which can make you feel calmer and more in control. It gives you a mental reset. Taking a moment to pause can help you step back from the overwhelm and approach your problems with a clearer mind. It's not a fix-all, but it's a start. These techniques won't solve the bigger issues, like passing your classes or finding a job, but they can help you feel calmer and more focused so you can tackle those challenges step by step. If this still doesn't feel helpful, let me know, and we can try something else. The goal is to find what works for you.
Respectfully, I don't know if that is going to work for me. Is there something else you can suggest?
Absolutely, and I really appreciate your honesty. If breathing exercises or grounding techniques don't feel right for you, let's try something more practical and action-oriented. Here's a suggestion: try this. Write down one small, achievable goal for today. For example, I will review one lecture from my summer class. I will email my professor to ask for clarification on a topic I'm struggling with. I will spend 30 minutes organizing my study materials. Why it helps. It gives you a clear focus for the day, which can help reduce feelings of overwhelm. Achieving even a small goal can boost your confidence and motivation. Let me know if you'd like help coming up with a specific goal, or if there's another way I can support you.
Sure. Can you help me come up with a specific goal?
Of course. Let's make it simple and tailored to what you're dealing with right now. Since you're preparing to retake 2 subjects in summer school, here's a specific, achievable goal you can start with. Today's goal: spend 30 minutes reviewing the syllabus and lecture notes for one of your summer classes. Break it down, open the syllabus and highlight the key topics or assignments. Skim through the first lecture or chapter to get a sense of what's coming up. Why this helps: it's a small, manageable task that won't feel overwhelming. It helps you get familiar with the material so you can plan your next steps. Let me know if this feels doable or if you'd like to adjust it. You've got this.
Right, so it's creating goals. Like, I get that. I know how to create goals. I had goals. I used, diaries. I even used a Gantt chart at one point. They did not help. Ugh, the stress. I'm feeling stressed.
I hear you. Creating goals or using diaries might not work for everyone, especially when stress is making it hard to focus or stay motivated. Let's shift gears and focus on managing your stress first, since that seems to be the biggest challenge right now. Here's a simple, practical suggestion: try this. Set a timer for 5 minutes and do something that helps you relax. For example, listen to a song you love. Go for a short walk, even just around your room or outside. Stretch or do a quick physical activity, for example, shaking out your arms and legs. Why it helps: stress can make it hard to think clearly or take action. Taking a short break to relax can help you reset and feel more in control. Let me know if this feels doable or if you'd like to try something else. The goal is to help you feel a little calmer so you can tackle the next step.
Okay, so do things that distract me?
Not exactly distractions, more like short, intentional breaks to help you reset and recharge. When you're feeling stressed, pushing through can sometimes make things worse. Taking a few minutes to do something calming or enjoyable can help you come back to your work with a clearer mind. Here's the difference: distractions are things that pull you away from what you need to do for too long. For example, scrolling on your phone for hours. Intentional breaks are short, focused moments to help you relax and refocus. For example, listening to one song, stretching, or taking a quick walk. Example of an intentional break: set a timer for 5 minutes. Do something simple, like listening to a favorite song, doing a quick stretch or breathing exercise, stepping outside for fresh air. Let me know if you'd like to try this or if there's another way I can help. The goal is to help you feel a little better so you can tackle what's next.
And how will that help me not feel stressed about failing my subjects?
That's a really good question. When you're stressed about big things like failing subjects, it can feel like small actions, like taking a break, won't make a difference. But here's why they can help. How it helps: breaks the stress cycle. Stress can make it hard to think clearly or take action, which can make you feel even more stuck. Taking a short break helps interrupt that cycle, so you can come back to the problem with a clearer mind. Gives you a mental reset. When you're overwhelmed, it's easy to feel like everything is piling up at once. A short break can help you step back and focus on one thing at a time. Improves focus and energy. Stress drains your energy and makes it harder to concentrate. Taking a moment to relax can help you feel more focused and ready to tackle your work. It's not a fix-all, but it's a start. Small breaks won't solve the bigger issues, like passing your subjects, but they can help you feel calmer and more in control, so you can start addressing those challenges step by step. If this still doesn't feel helpful, let me know, and we can try something else. The goal is to find what works for you.
I think we've only got about a minute left in our session, and I don't know if I genuinely don't feel any better about facing what I'm facing at the moment.
I'm really sorry to hear that you're still feeling this way, but I want you to know that it's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's a tough situation, and you're doing the best you can. Even though our session is almost over, here's one last thought to take with you. You're not alone. It's okay to struggle, and it's okay to ask for help. You've already taken a big step by reaching out today, and that shows strength. One small thing to try later. When you're ready, write down one thing you feel like you can do to take a small step forward. It doesn't have to be big, just something that feels manageable. You've got this, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. If you ever want to talk again, I'm here. Take care of yourself.
All right. See you later, I guess.
Take care, and remember, you're not alone in this. If you ever need to chat again, I'm here. Wishing you all the best, and I hope things start to feel a little easier soon. See you later.